Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Fits. I hope this Zen fits with you, gives you a fits, and happy Mother's Day. You know, the great thing about Mother's Day is that everybody's got a mother, and everybody celebrates their mother. So I thought we would, I wanted to talk today this morning about the Zen of the mother. You know, I'm always looking at it looking at what we all look at from a different angle, a wider angle. Let's say, as a photographer, you have two kinds of lenses. You have a wide angle, and you have a narrow focused angle. Let's look at that. So, but first, hope the lighting is okay with this because the sun's coming in here. I hope that's not screwed up. I can't tell because the camera's reversed here. But anyway, here's a picture of my mother. She died 2013 at 102, and she was still smiling when she died. So, anyway, she was a great mother, and as all mothers are. So let's start by hitting the bowl. Now it's interesting that symbolically the bowl is the mother, the stick is the father. See? The universal symbols. The circle or the space and the phallic. So let's look at these from the inside instead of the outside. So, as you know, in Zen Taoism, my favorite symbol is the yin-yang. Yang is male, yin is female. Yang is father, yin is mother. So you could say with the yang and the yin, the yang is solid, the yin is open. Each one is one. Yang is one, yin is one. But there can only be one, you see. So which one is the one? Well, let's look at these two from the point of view of awareness. Now, you can do this experiment. There are two kinds of awareness. They're opposite, but they're mutually dependent. Just like there is the space, the bowl, and the stick that hits the bowl. This is one, this is one. They're mutually dependent. If you don't have this, you don't have any sound. You see, you need this, okay? If you don't have this, you don't have a sound. If you don't have this, you don't have. So you need two. But each one is one. So this is yang, this is yin. You see? But they have to go together in order to get a sound. Creation. Om. You see? So let's look at this from awareness. Now, take this marker here. Now, if you focus your attention on the one, this marker, you'll notice that the rest of your space is relaxed and you're not noticing it. But then if I say, well, focus your attention on this cup, now you've switched your focus from the one to the one. So there's always the one that you're focusing on. You can't focus on two at the same time. Have you ever noticed that? You can't unless you got two eyes. Like me, when I look to the left, I have a wall eye, so I see two things at once. But normally, we only see one thing at a time. And when we see something, we say that's the one. If you're looking for something and we hold up different things, and finally you hold up this, and you say that's the one. Okay, that's the one I was looking for. So it's a fixed point. So this is centripetal, and I just learned these words. So centripetal, there's a centripetal force that goes towards the one. And then there is centrifugal force, which goes out. You notice these two forces work in opposition to each other. One is driving you out, and the other is pulling you in. So they balance each other. So centripetal awareness is awareness that focuses on the one. And you notice that, like, take a Google map. The positive is the centripetal awareness. So you keep going in, like you start out with the map of the United States when you open it up, and through focusing your awareness, you keep going in, there's my town, in, there's my street, in, there's my house, oh, there I am in the yard. And you can keep going. Then you put on a microscope, then you go into the body, and then there's the blood, there's the molecules, there's the cell. You keep going down to, you keep going down till you get to a point that has no dimension. You see? So it's zooming in, zoom, 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 to get to the one. You get to the one point that cannot be divided. And science has always done, you know, like they thought the atom was the one point that couldn't be divided. Then, whoa, somebody split it. And that opened up a whole new universe. But then going on the other way. Now we're going to, this is the father principle, the yang, focused to get to the one. Now we're going to go, see, we're going to focus and get to the one, see. Now we're going to go to the other force, the mother force, the yin. And now, if you're focused on the one, if you relax your focus, now you can do this where you are, and just relax your focus, and you just become aware of the space you're in. And there's really no focusing there, it's a relaxing. And we do this when we're in nature, you're sitting in the backyard, and you're aware and awake, but you're not really focusing on anything. Maybe a bird stops there, and then boom, you look, oh, that's a robin. Well, you just focused on the one. That's the one robin. But before you focused on that one robin, there was just, the whole space, you see. Relaxed. No effort. There's no, when we focus, you know, there's a tension. You know, you see this expressed in people's faces, you know. What are you doing? Well, I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm focusing awareness. Ooh, you see. I got to get to the one. I got to get to the one. And then when I get the one, I go, relax. Mysteries, you know. The detective, inspector, is focused on who did it. That would be the one. And he's focused and focused and focused. And then when they find, Mardi Gras, everybody relaxes and has a drink. We found the one. And we watch it because we want to find the one too. We like the process. We like the game, you see. Or the crossword puzzle. Everything is to look for the one. And as soon as you find the one, the mother. So we got the father, the yang, that's focused, trying to find the one. And then we got the relaxation when we find the one. A massage table. I don't have to focus on anything. So you get these two, centrifugal force and centripetal force. Centrifugal force wants to find the one too, but it wants to find the one that includes everything. And the centripetal force wants to find the one by excluding everything till you get down to the one. Everything else is eliminated to get down to the one. And the opposite awareness, these are two awarenesses now, the focused and the relaxed. So the relaxed awareness is letting go of let go of that. Oh, well, you're focused again, there's tension, let go of that. Oh, okay, you're focused again, let go of that. Okay, there's some more yang, let go, find the yin. So we got this dance going on between yang and yin. Yang is focused, yin is relaxed. And this is going on all the time in our minds, but we don't notice it, you see. So we got this dance between the father and the mother. Father's looking for the one, Mothers including all the ones. You could even say these are Democrats and that's Republican. The Republican is looking for the one, and the Democrat is including all the ones. Both are looking for the one. Both are valid. Both are necessary. But they can't do the same thing. You see what I mean? Which one? There has to be one. There has to be one. That's the primary imperative of creation. There has to be one. But here we have two ones, both of which are valid, both of which are equal. Which is the one? So usually we solve this by picking one or the other. Some of us are drawn to the mother, some to the father. Some Republicans, some Democrats. So these two, so it's, the way we solve this is we choose one or the other. But how do we do them both at the same time? And you have, see, the problem is you can't, in marriages like it, you got the husband and the wife, you see. So there's usually going to be who's in charge in this moment, you see. Normally it's job description, so in a marriage, usually a relationship, the yin gets an area of expertise where they're the one, and the yang gets an area of expertise where he's the one. Usually marriages are defined by inside and outside. So the yin takes care of the inside, and the yang takes care of the outside. You see, so if you're going to fix something out the car, the lawnmower, the yard or something, well, the yang will take care of that. But if you're going to do something in the kitchen or inside of the house, the yin will take care of that. And so a lot of marriages solve this by having strict definitions of woman's work and man's work, and that kind of like keeps friction out of the way. But when they cross, you see, when you have an area where they cross, you get a conflict, particularly when you retire. And now the man is no longer taking care of the outside world, and now he's in the inside world trying to take care of the inside world, and the yin goes nuts. So go down to the pub. Get out of here. Because you can't have two ones at the same time. One has to be one or the other. So anyway, I'm digressing. So the problem is, and you can see now, just experiment with this and play with this during the day. Notice when you're focused, when your attention, your tension. This is tension over here, by the way. To focus on something requires a focusing. It's like with a camera. A wide angle, you just open it up and look, and there's no focus. Everything's in focus. But as soon as you put on a zoom lens, you've got to turn that little sucker so you can focus on some object, and you have to be very still. Maybe put a tripod up, or else it's going to get blurry. Particularly if you're have really with a powerful zoom lens and you're trying to catch an image of a bird. And when you catch the image of the bird, that's the one. Everything else is blurred. There's just the one, you see. There's just yang. A wide angle, everything's in focus. Now, if you'll notice, this is meditation. So this is a practice of meditation. Meditation is centrifugal awareness. Meditation is noticing tension and relaxing. Massage. You go to a massage therapist, she notices or he, but usually my wife was a massage therapist. She could notice tension, she could notice yang with her hands. And there would be and then she would work on that. She would work on that yang to release it so it would go, space. No, nothing to focus on, nothing to worry about. See, this is yang is worry. Worry comes when you've got two things. There has to be only one. But you got two, so you worry. Which one is the one? Which should I choose? They're both good choices. So worry is the inability to choose the one. And as soon as you make that choice, okay, yin, you see. So we got this dance between focus, tension, worry, relax. Everything's okay. That's what mother represents. Mother is, come on home, everything's okay. I know you got problems out there, you got stuff going on, people don't like you, don't worry, come home. And you go home, and the great mother opens her arms. Relaxed. I'm okay. I'm okay now, you see. Then you go back in the world and tension. Who's the one? I want to be the one. He wants to be the one. Everybody wants to be the one. I can't be the one. I got to be the one. You go home. I'm the one. It's okay. There is no one. All the ones are accepted. So when all the ones are accepted, you have the one. You see, so the whole, represented again by here, the mother is the space that holds all the ones. It's a cosmic, this is the goddess, this is the mother goddess, this is the earth mother, this is the Maya, this is the great mother who was the first object of worship before the father worship came in. So the great mother was awareness that was inclusive of everything. You see, so when the yang comes in, particularly in awareness, now this is a fact of sin, but when you do the yang and you focus on the one, you can notice that when you focus on the one who focuses appears. In other words, you can experiment with this. You're out walking in the nature, in the woods. You're yin. You're in Mother Nature. You're not really looking at anything, but you're not daydreaming. You're not, lost in thought. You're just walking with awareness without focusing on anything. You're just looking. You're just here. And somebody comes along the trail and they say, hi. Bam. Immediately the yin goes and now the yang appears and you focus on them. They're the one. Now the question is, what happened to you? What happens is, and you need to check this out, what happens is that when the one appears, you appear. And now there's a sense that the one is the center of attention. This guy coming down, is he good or bad? Is he a friend or foe? So I'm focused on that. Am I going to bump into him? What's he doing here disturbing me? He's the one. But where are you? Before this one appeared on the trail, you were yin. You were the one. You were the whole nature. There was no you outside of it. You were as nature. It's like when you go to a movie. Before the movie starts, you're focusing on one. I'm looking at that guy eating popcorn. I'm talking to my friend. And I'm looking at the lights. I'm looking at things. I'm looking at ones. I'm picking out ones to look at. And in that process, I become the subject. There's the object, there's the subject. It's kind of like this. Here's the object, here's the subject, So when this appears as the one, this appears. Now who is this? This is our sense of self, our me, our ego. Our ego appears, our sense of self appears as a subject, as a thinker, as a me. Before the one appeared, before the guy came down the trail, me wasn't there. It was just the one. It was just the mother. We were all the mother, you see. But as soon as I focus on something, I make that something I look at, the one, and I appear as the looker. But the question is, where am I? Well, I'm outside the one. So suddenly, when the yang appears, when the one appears, this fixed point that I'm looking at, I'm kind of outside of it. So it's kind of like Yahweh in the Genesis. So Yahweh creates the world. He creates creation. But where is Yahweh? Yahweh's not in his creation. Yahweh's out here. So this is kind of like when you say God creates man in his image. Well, we've created Yahweh in our image. It's an image of our awareness. So when I become aware of the bowl, the I appears that is aware of the bowl. But this I is outside of the mother. Is outside of the all. Is outside of the thing I'm aware of, you see. So these rise together. When I focus on something, and there's nothing wrong with this is the way it works, but when I focus on something with this yang awareness, two rises, which is the one who focuses and the thing focused upon. It's subject and object, you see. So the whole process of awakening and finding our true nature is to understand this and to be able to relax the yang and rediscover our wholeness in the mother. And this would be true nature. True nature is when you're always one with the whole. You're always whole no matter where you are, yet at the same time you can focus on things so you can catch a bus and write on this, you know. But the question is, which is primary? Which is the dominant one? Is yang dominant or is yin dominant? In our culture, Western culture, is a patriarchal culture. It's a yang culture. We're just focusing on everything. We're just focusing on this and that and this, and we're making stuff, and we're trying to be the one. Now, Trump says, I'm the one, America's the one, everybody wants to be the one. You see, everybody wants to be this fixed point, everybody wants to be the one. But everybody can't be the one, so we fight. Sports, everything, wars, sports, neighborhood fights, tomcats, everybody wants to be the one. And that we achieve the one through controlled war like sports or politics, or actual fights, or competition. But there's all this struggle, you see, in the yang world to be the one. And so the Eastern, this is a Western view, and this is an Eastern view. In the East, the mother, the yin, is still the dominant awareness. It's kind of like the Great Mother never went away. The Great Mother was this all-inclusive awareness before human consciousness evolved to create yang consciousness. So this yang consciousness, this ability to focus on things and make tools and weapons and rocket ships. What is a rocket ship? This ability to focus awareness is an evolution, a final evolution. This was like, take the Garden of Eden. I love that story, Genesis. You got the garden. Before Adam ate the apple, it was yin. It was all one. And then Adam ate the apple and he ate the yang apple. Now he's focused on good and bad. Now he's saying, well, this is good and that's bad. So he just split the apple. He just split the bowl. You see? And now you've got a good bowl and a bad bowl. The mother's no longer the dominant awareness. She takes the back seat. Now Yang's driving the car. And oh boy, he's driving the hell out of it, you see. And so during the Enlightenment, this Yang power created science. And what is science but a way of making stuff and controlling the world? You can control the future through science, you see. You create the future through science. And and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's created a very comfortable civilization. But it put the mother in the back seat and made the yang the dominant awareness, to the point we don't even know this awareness exists. We can't even find it. We can't relax. We're just yang, yang, yang everywhere. Focusing, trying to find the one through focusing on it. We've lost our relax button. We've lost the yin. Now Taoism and Zen and these Eastern traditions are all dominant with this awareness, and this awareness is second. This awareness, yang awareness, is just a tool to do stuff, to catch a bus. But it's not your dominant awareness. The relaxed mind, the relaxed awareness, being at ease, being cool, being comfortable in your skin, being comfortable in the world, you see. Being the one wherever you are, because you're not trying to be the one wherever you are. We're all the one, you see. In this awareness, the whole is the one, and we're all parts of the whole. So we're all the one, yet we're manifesting as different parts. The yang comes in, forgetting the mother, forgetting the feminine principle, forgetting the yin, comes in and says, I gotta find the one. You see, because it doesn't exist. I don't feel one with anything, so I gotta find it. I gotta seek God. I gotta seek the one. I gotta seek this. I gotta seek happiness. I gotta pursue happiness. I have to pursue pleasure. I have to pursue the one, you see. That cannot be divided, this fixed point that cannot be divided. And the yin awareness says, well, that's silly. You're already the one. So just relax. So, okay, this was my talk about, so anyway, awakened nature. We hear a lot about this, non-dual, awakening, enlightenment, salvation, I'm saved. All of these words are ways we describe true nature, or the awakened awareness that is both. But the awakened awareness is dominantly relaxed, is the mother, and it uses the yin to do stuff. Insight comes, creation comes, when you relax the struggle and allow insight to come into the one. And see, this is in religious symbolism, this is the Virgin Mother. Why is she a virgin? She's empty. So when the mind becomes a virgin, when the mind relaxes and becomes, and just becomes everything, just walks in nature, insights come in, seeds come in, insights, ideas come in. And where do they come from? Who knows? But they come into the awareness, and they are always creative. That means they are a single idea that includes both now. So single ideas become the one. So when you relax into the mother, you create the one. And the one is always going to be something that never existed before. And that's what creativity is. You have a poem, you have an idea, you create art. This is what art is all about, and spiritual work is creating the one, creating the idea, the one, that has never existed before. That's what creation means. It's so in the spiritual path, awakening is creating yourself. Not finding yourself among all the ones out there, and not relaxing into being nothing, just space, spaced out, you see, is actually creating yourself. And both awarenesses function together like a nice married couple, creating babies. You see, a baby is a true nature. A baby is awareness that is prior to the yang. See, so when the baby starts running around and walking, says, "Who am I?" You know, well, you're Ed Conley, and what's this? Well, that's a marker, and don't put that on the wall now. You put it on the board, right? So there we are, little Adam in the Garden of Eden, naming everything. But before everything is named, before he becomes Adam and names everything, he's true nature. He is just awareness. Open, aware, wide awake, interested, curious. The world's full of wonder. Pandora. Yes. So anyway, I hope I've talked long enough this morning, but I hope this gives you a little wide-angle view on the mother and why we adore her and why we always come home to her and we always come home and relax. I'm here. I'm home, Mother. I'm home. So, have a happy Mother's Day.